It's your girl, and we're back for 2021. However, with 2021, we're going to do something a little bit different. I feel like I always talk about comics, and I occasionally talk about manga. However, I feel like in the start of 2021, it feels like the manga and anime bug has kind of bit me in the butt. I'm not kidding when I say that most of this month, a lot of my reads were manga, and then I spent a lot of time consuming anime. So I recently just got done watching the Lupin the Third movie, which I absolutely adored and I'm now obsessed with. So I can't wait to go back and watch the original series, which I believe is on Crunchyroll right now. And then I spent a copious amount of time watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, which has both enhanced and ruined my life completely. I just want more Neon Genesis Evangelion. With 2021, you know, I found myself doing something that I never do, and that was in a bookshop, buying manga, and spending $75 in one transaction. And I realized then that I had a problem and I was in deep, and I just really want to talk about manga. So I don't read a whole lot. I'm starting to get there a little bit better, and I didn't really collect a whole lot of manga, but now I feel like I'm like in this zone, and I'm really excited to start collecting manga. I'm really excited to start diving into new series and new interesting series, because it felt like for the longest time when I thought about manga and anime respectively, it was always the big boys. It was always Dragon Ball Z and My Hero Academia and Inuyasha, and you know, it just kind of felt stale. And then something hit me where manga, I started to realize, could kind of be like indie comics, where there is such a wide range of varieties and styles, and I'm kind of in love with it. So I figured, why not? Let's just kind of hang out and chill today. I figured I would show off my manga collection, because there is only about 40 or so books in my little collection right now, but I promise by the end of the year, that number is probably going to triple, and I'm very frightened about that, because I ain't got no more bookshelf space. So I don't know where the manga is gonna go, but the manga is here to stay. So before we start, fun fact, I did not intend to wear this shirt today. I swear, I did not plan to wear this shirt. I planned all these figures here. I planned moving the Sailor Moon pops in and kicking the Saga pops out for this video. But this shirt, I just happened to put on, and when I sat down, I was like, oh, I'm really in a manga mood, I guess. But it's Sailor Moon, and who doesn't love Sailor Moon? Speaking of Sailor Moon, the first book I'm going to show off is Sailor Moon, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, the Eternal Edition Volume 1. This was recently gifted to me by a friend who was removing it from her collection because she's replacing it, I believe, with other editions. But I love Sailor Moon. I am such a huge fan of Sailor Moon. If you were like me growing up in the 90s, you spent a lot of time consuming Sailor Moon, which I did because Sailor Mars, who was my absolute hero because of the namesake, and I just love Sailor Moon a whole lot. But I'm really excited to read Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. I really like this oversized format, if you will, because I feel like with a lot of manga, they tend to be a little bit smaller and more compact, which I love when you're looking at them on a shelf. But I really think that this is just absolutely gorgeous in the way that it's styled, and the art style, of course, is absolutely gorgeous. So I cannot wait to be in bed reading Sailor Moon and then crossing out Mamoru's name and replacing everything with Darien. Listen, I am one of like 2 people on this planet that absolutely love the 90s dub of Sailor Moon. I absolutely love Serena's Brooklyn accent. I absolutely love her screaming Darien every 5 seconds and crying about it every 5 seconds. And I just want that dub back in my life. That's all I want. So I have the first volume of My Androgynous Boyfriend. This is a book I talked about recently on one of my comic book wrap-up videos. I believe it was like in March or May or something like that. But this is just a really great fun book. It's a really wholesome book about a relationship and this, you know, kind of frumpy girl and her androgynous boyfriend, as he is this sort of Instagram influencer. And it's just really cute and it's a lot of fun. But I have volume 1. I definitely need to get more of this in my collection because it is just a really great story. This book is a lot of fun. I actually just recently picked up this book because my friend was telling me about it, and I was flipping through it and I became obsessed with the idea of it. This is Little Miss P. This is a book about a personified period, and is about your period knocking on your door and saying, hello, I'm here to stay and I'm here to ruin your life and wreck your life. And I just think that's really funny, because if you're a lady and have had lady problems, that is definitely something I never thought I'd be talking about on this channel. But feel like if you have experienced lady problems, then you'll definitely really enjoy this book. It just seems really funny and really wholesome, and I really can't wait to read this one. And I'm surprised that I actually haven't read this before filming this, because this was a book I was really excited about picking up. If you're watching this video and you know who you are, please don't hit me. This is Girls Last Tour Volume 1, which I picked up years ago due to a recommendation from a friend, and I have yet to read it. Again, please don't hit me if you're watching this video. I know you occasionally watch them, and I love you very much, but I just haven't had time. But I'm going to make time, and I'm going to read this book. Girls Last Tour is supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic manga about these two girls wandering the city and trying to survive, and all this other fun jam stuff. I don't know why I haven't read this yet. I just haven't had the time. I'm really looking forward to finally reading that. That's going to be my goal this year, is to read Girls Last Tour Volume 1 so I can hopefully dive into the other volumes. I know that this one in particular does have a anime adaptation. I've been wanting to watch it, but at the same time I'm like, I should probably read the book before I watch the show. Probably gonna watch the show anyway. I'm sorry. I'll read it, I promise. So I love Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop, I know everybody says this. I know people deem it as either it's like this classic or it's the most overrated anime ever. Cowboy Bebop is one of my all-time favorite anime series. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. It's got some really great storytelling, and if I'm being quite honest with you, it is like that go-to comfort thing for me. So when I'm having a bad day, or I'm in a bad mood, or I'm curled up in a ball and don't want to leave my bed, I will put on Cowboy Bebop, and it just kind of takes me to this better place. I don't know if it's the music or the characters or both, but there's just something special about Cowboy Bebop. However, we're not here to talk about Cowboy Bebop. Instead, we're here to talk about Samurai Champloo. So this is the first volume of Samurai Champloo. So this isn't an original manga. This is actually adapted from the TV show. And the reason why I'm talking about Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo is because they are made by the same studio. So they both have very similar vibes, except one is samurais and the other one is space bandits. However, I feel like this is a series that nobody ever talks about, and I absolutely love the anime. I watch it all the time from start to finish. It is so much fun, and it also has Steve Bloom as one of the main characters, so Spike Spiegel fans, eat your heart out. But if you have not watched Samurai Champloo, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a really short series. I believe it's only about 20 so episodes, and it might be shorter than that if I'm being quite honest, but it is available for free to watch on YouTube, so you really don't have an excuse, and it's got a really rad theme song. So yeah, definitely check out Samurai Champloo. I haven't read this yet. I need to read this. But I picked it up because I found it at a Goodwill for like $1, and I was like, I'm gonna pick it up, obviously. This is kind of like the odd boy in my collection. This is My Brother's Husband Volume 2. The reason why I have Volume 2 is because I had read Volume 1 at my local library, and then they didn't get in Volume 2, or they didn't get it in fast enough, so I went and bought Volume 2. And I really like this story because it is a queer, wholesome story. It is about a father and his daughter, and they get a visit from his deceased brother's husband, and he's kind of trying to connect with the family and trying to connect with the family's roots in Japan. And it's just a really great, wholesome story about sexuality and acceptance. And it's just a really great queer story. There's a lot of really great, wholesome and happy moments in it. And I just love the art style in this book a whole lot. Possibly because all the men are drawn like himbos, and I just really like himbos, and yeah. So next we have Way of the House Husband. I have Volume 1 and Volume 2. I need to get the rest of the volumes because I am obsessed with this series. This series is just comedic gold and a lot of fun. This is another book that I have recently talked about in one of my comic book wrap-ups, but is about a ex-Yakuza gang leader member, and he has sort of retired from that life to become a house husband. So you see him getting into a lot of shenanigans where you think that he's reverting back to his old ways, and then he's just grocery shopping, or he's just walking the dog and doing all this fun stuff. But I really like this series. I know a lot of people really love it as well, and with good reason too. But the thing I'm really excited about Way of the House Husband is there is a live action adaptation of the series, and even more so, there is a new animated adaptation that's going to be coming to Netflix, I think hopefully by the end of this year. And what's really great about the two adaptations is they are both played by the same actor. So the guy who plays the house husband in the live action video, he is also going to be voicing him in the animated adaptation. I just think that's really neat, and I really love the dedication to the character that this guy has, to being just this samurai swordsman Yakuza house husband guy. And I just think it's really cool. I love anytime Star Wars is adapted into manga. So, I mean, and I'm a big Princess Leia fan, so obviously I have Princess Leia, Leia of Alderaan, Volume 1. This is actually a manga that was adapted by a prose novel written by Claudia Gray of the same name. And I really, really like this book. I just really like seeing Princess Leia as like this cute anime space princess. I love some of the costume designs in this book, and I just really like seeing my girl, you know, come to life in this other art style, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I need more anime Star Wars in my life, and luckily we are getting more anime Star Wars. So Yen Press, who also published Princess Leia of Alderaan, is doing another book adaptation or manga adaptation from a book. It is for Guardians of the Wilds, which is written by Greg Rucka and follows Chirrut and Baze from Rogue One, who are two of my favorite characters. So I'm really excited to be able to relive that story, because if I'm being honest, I think it's the last book without pictures that I ever read. So now I get to read it with pictures, and I'm really excited. I feel like this series alone is the whole blame as to like my manga spiral of 2021. So I have Blood on the Tracks Volume 1 through 4. I know there's only 3 here, but I promise I do have all 4. I'm lending the first one off to a family member right now and trying to pressure them into reading it, which is fun because it's a person who doesn't read comics, let alone manga. And when I told her she had to read it back to front, she looked at me like I had 12 heads. It was a very fun time. This book is absolutely insane and absolutely terrifying, and it's just this really domesticated horror that gives me the uber goober shibby jibbies. And if you haven't read this book, if you want some good horror, read Blood on the Tracks, because it is absolutely terrifying. Like I said, I literally bought all 4 volumes in the span of a month because I was that obsessed with it, and now I have to wait for Volume 5. So I'm really, really depressed, and March can't come fast enough. This is the complete collection of The Flowers of Evil. This is actually done by the same creator who did Blood on the Tracks. So I just recently bought this. I haven't read it yet, but I'm really excited to check it out. The art style isn't like as exciting or dynamic, I feel like, as Blood on the Tracks. I feel like this is very traditional manga, or what you would expect from a manga, where I feel like Blood on the Tracks is very scratched and very, very horrific, if you will. But I'm really excited to check this out just because of how much I love Blood on the Tracks, and if he does horror the way he does it in this book, you know, I'm gonna have a really, really good time. So this is a big boy. This is like, I believe it's like the first 3 original volumes all together. So I'm super excited to check this one out. Speaking of big boys, I actually forgot that I owned this because it was sitting way in like a bottom shelf tucked away in the corner. But this is the collection, the hardcover collection of Revolutionary Girl Utena, and let's pull these bad boys out of here, because books are meant to be enjoyed, not stuffed in a box. Look how pretty these are. These are absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to read these, because now that I've remembered that they exist in my collection, I'm going to be reading them. And I actually did read the first volume a while ago from the library, and then a friend gifted me these, and I'm just really excited to jump into these, because I feel like Revolutionary Girl Utena is like that peak lesbian swords girl story that everybody's always talking about. So it is definitely on brand and my jam. And just look at that. That is just peak gay right there. Peak gay. So this next series, this is probably like my favorite ongoing manga series right now. I feel like I don't keep up to date with manga as much as I do with comics, but that might change this year because now I'm becoming obsessed. But this is Girl from the Other Side. This is probably like my all-time favorite like ongoing manga series right now. Like, if I'm being completely honest with you right now, like Girl from the Other Side is the reason why I started reading manga again, because the art style in this book is just gorgeous. It really did solidify that manga can have this wide variety of range and style that I didn't always understand or didn't always expect. But Girl from the Other Side is just one of my favorite series ever. I have all 9 volumes. Now, I haven't read all 9. I need to catch up. I think I'm on like volume 6, and volume 10 is on the way. But this series, man, this is just a really, really great series. I also have his other book, Love from the Other Side, which I talked about in my latest comic book wrap-up video, but that is on loan to a friend right now. And I hope this series ends soon, because I know that some series go to like volume like 89 or something, and we're going on to volume 10. And I don't have room for every volume, but let me tell you, if he publishes 89 volumes, I will buy 89 volumes of Girl from the Other Side, because I'm just that crazy. So I also have Shiver. This is a collected story of Junji Ito stories. I really, really like Shiver and also Smashed, because they are these really great horror anthology stories, and I always stand by the fact that horror is best kept as an anthology because then it doesn't overstay its welcome. I also just really, really love how cute they look. I think they're really, really gorgeous. And that is something that I'm discovering with manga, is I feel like a lot of the presentation for manga, especially when we look at these collected editions, they're just absolutely gorgeous, and I'm like obsessed with collecting them on my shelf. This is the only Junji Ito I have in my collection, sadly, and I need to get more. So more Junji Ito, please. Y'all know this book. Y'all know this book because I talk about it a lot, and I've talked about it all last year, so I won't really talk about it a whole lot, but this is the Battle Royale Ultimate Edition Volume 1. It's like one of my favorite series ever. I'm completely obsessed. I think I'm going to reread it this year, even though I just read it last year, because it was just that good and that amazing. However, every time I look at this book, it makes me sad, because I know I will never get the rest of these because they are ridiculously expensive and they are out of print. Like, they're like hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you want them. So listen, if you have the Battle Royale Ultimate Editions and you're willing to part with them, and you're willing to give me a good deal, or you're willing to part with them for a decent price, please let your girl know, because I will probably definitely buy them, because I want the whole Battle Royale collection as is, because these are just massive and huge, and I want them all, and I want every volume of Kawada's Sweet Body, and I just love Battle Royale, okay? Time for a fun fact that is also going to upset a lot of people. I love Dragon Ball. I think Dragon Ball is so neat, as you can see with my Bulma and my Android 18 here. I really like the characters in Dragon Ball. I love Piccolo and I love Vegeta, who is my short king husband, and I would die for him. I really don't watch a whole lot of Dragon Ball. I'm sorry. I've tried. I don't have time to watch all of Dragon Ball. Not only that, but usually it's just dudes punching each other in the face, and yeah, I get that is the point of Dragon Ball. But how many times can a dude punch another dude before it starts to get boring? I do love Dragon Ball, though. So I recently just got the first volume of Dragon Ball as a Christmas present, and I'm really excited to read this because, like I said, I love Dragon Ball, and I understand that. So I grew up with like Dragon Ball Z and stuff, and that's what I'm most familiar with. But I understand Dragon Ball is like the prequel to Dragon Ball Z, and so it follows like Baby Goku, and it follows Bulma, and I'm really excited for that part because I'm hoping that there's a lot of Bulma in this book, because I just want more Bulma in my life, and I love Bulma, and I would die for her. I just really, really love Bulma. This last set of books are extremely, extremely special to me. Like, extremely special. And that is Paradise Kiss. So I have two different sets of Paradise Kiss. I have the original printed volumes of Volume 1 and Volume 2 when they were originally released by Tokyo Pop. And then I also have, thanks to my best friend who gifted me her copies for Christmas, I have the re-releases of Paradise Kiss Volume 1 through 3, and this is supposed to have the entire collection in them. And these, I've been wanting these forever, but they are out of print, and like Battle Royale, really expensive and really hard to find. So when she gifted these to me for Christmas, I almost died inside, okay? Because that's what friendship is. That is the magic of friendship, much like Paradise Kiss. Story time. So Paradise Kiss is probably one of the first like mangas that I ever read growing up. I was 13, I was in high school, and I remember having this classmate who was like really obsessed with manga and was always like feeding me different manga volumes, and there were a couple here that I liked, but I couldn't really connect with any, and then she gave me Paradise Kiss. And I looked at her and I was like, what do I want with a stupid anime fashion school romance book? And she's like, just read it. And it changed my life. It really did. It sounds really silly coming from a fashion school romance. However, Paradise Kiss taught me all about sexuality and taught me all what it meant to be queer. So Paradise Kiss was like actually my first experience with a trans character and what it meant to be trans. But more importantly, it was my first experience with a bisexual character and a bisexual man nonetheless, and what it meant to be bi. And being the bi lady that I am, you know, it kind of struck a chord with me and it kind of stuck with me. And so, you know, Paradise Kiss is just one of those books that I always find myself coming back to. But like I said, it can be really, really hard to find. And it's just really, really special to me. Paradise Kiss also has a really, really great anime adaptation, and it's free right now on YouTube. So I definitely recommend checking it out because the manga and the anime itself, respectively, are just absolutely gorgeous and absolutely intertwined and beautiful. And my favorite things about manga, and it's like really silly because when you think about this book, you don't think that that's going to be my favorite series, but it is. And so now that I own these, first of all, I'm really excited to just be able to reread these because it's been a while since I've reread the series. I've watched the anime like nonstop all the time because, you know, the internet allows me to. But reading the books and being able to reconnect with these books is just something that I'm really, really excited to revisit in 2021. So Alana, thank you for gifting me your copies. I know it's not always easy giving away your things, but just know that it's really, really special. I'm gonna cry, but these books are just really, really special to me, and I'm gonna cherish them for the rest of my life. So that is like everything. This isn't everything, but you know, I can't hold everything. There's like 30 books here. What are you, insane? But this is my entire manga collection, as I said in the beginning. It isn't the biggest right now, but it's really, really special to me, and I'm really excited to see it grow. Because like being in comics and collecting comics, you know, I've kind of like I've kind of like elevated myself to where it's like I have so much, and like it's like, what am I gonna get next? What am I gonna start collecting next? So I'm really excited to know that manga is gonna be my next new obsession. I don't know where I'm gonna put all the manga because, as I said, I'm running out of bookshelf space. But there's going to be a lot of manga in 2021. And like I said, I'm really excited to see how much manga I add to my collection by the end of the year. So maybe if you guys are excited and you guys liked watching me rant about what's in my collection, maybe I'll do like a manga wrap up at the end of the year and I'll show off all the things that I've bought. You know, if it's not a million bajillion things. But it would be nice to like kind of compare what is in my collection now and what I've added, you know, throughout the year. Not only that, but I just want to read more manga. So, friends, hit me up. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite manga stories? What are the books that you think that I should be reading right now? As you can see, I have a very wide range of taste. So please recommend me things because I need to read more things. But I'm going to go and try to put all of these back now and read some more manga. And I don't know, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye!